After the triumph of WrestleMania 20, Chris Benoit seemed to finally have it all: the title, the respect, the family. But in truth, his story was only beginning to darken. At home, he wasn't the Wolverine. He was just Chris, husband to Nancy and father to Daniel. Nancy was no stranger to the wrestling world. She had once been known as Woman in WCW. Confident, glamorous, fiery. She wasn't just a manager. She was a performer, a part of the show. That's how she met Chris. Their chemistry was undeniable, even on camera. In the late 90s, she managed Benoit's storylines. But what started as a scripted partnership soon became something real. They fell in love behind the scenes, and it caused chaos. Nancy was married at the time to another wrestler, Kevin Sullivan, who ironically booked the storyline that brought her and Benoit together. It started as fiction and ended in real heartbreak. Nancy left her husband for Chris, and in wrestling circles, that became infamous. It was as if Chris Benoit's life was blurring the line between performance and reality, something that would happen again, years later, in a much darker way. By 2000, the two married, and soon after, their son Daniel was born, a quiet, sweet boy with his father's gentle eyes. For a time, they were happy. Photos from that era show Benoit smiling, genuine, relaxed, at peace. He would carry Daniel around backstage, introduce him to other wrestlers, and tell friends he wanted to give his son the stability he never had growing up. But life in WWE was brutal. Chris was constantly traveling, wrestling 5, 6 nights a week, flying from one city to another. He'd come home physically broken, ice packs on his knees, tape around his wrists, bruises across his back. Nancy wanted a husband. Daniel wanted a father, but the WWE wanted a machine. And Chris, he didn't know how to say no. As the years went on, the toll began to show. He'd spend long nights alone in hotel rooms, rewatching his matches, criticizing himself frame by frame. Even when he won, he found flaws. Even when he was loved, he felt unworthy. Nancy noticed it first. She saw the changes, the mood swings, the quiet dinners, the sudden bursts of anger over small things. He'd stare off into space, lost, distant. And when she asked what was wrong, he'd just say, "I'm fine, I'm just tired." But it wasn't just exhaustion. It was something else creeping in, something invisible. His friends started to worry too. Eddie Guerrero, his best friend and brother in spirit, saw it more than anyone. They trained together, prayed together, cried together. Eddie would tell people, "Chris is too hard on himself. He doesn't forgive his own mistakes." And when Eddie died suddenly of heart failure in 2005, Benoit shattered. If you want to follow the story from the beginning to the end, click the related video to watch the full story.